Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Now, before I talk about last night's WWE's WrestlePalooza, which was inspired by ECW, I would like to give you a couple of small notes about WWE AEW's All Out. Now, first of all, I didn't see everything that happened, but I saw enough to know that we saw Beth Phoenix, aka Beth Copeland, make a return to fight off former manager of NXT's Diamond Mine, and Edge and Christian defeated FTR only for them to attack Edge and Christian like the sore losers they are and pile drive Beth Phoenix. We also saw the return of the Lucha House Jurassic. What's that team called? All I know is Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus are back together. Apparently, they've gone face. And apparently, Moxley won the casket match between himself and Darby Allin. But Darby Allin got the last word by trying to set the man on fire. If I didn't know any better, I would think Darby Allin is the next. I would say Darby Allin is the new Kane because this guy loves setting people on fire. He set Jack Perry on fire last year and he's setting Jon Moxley on fire this year. It was entertaining to watch. I'm not going to lie. It was entertaining to watch. But I still can't believe he did it. Darby's crazy. Don't mess with this guy. That being said, let's go to why we're really here. WWE side of things. We have, first off, we opened up the show with somewhat of another one-sided match between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. John Cena tried, but Brock Lesnar won. I saw an action figure short where someone made the Brock Lesnar and John Cena match a lot more epic. But in any event, Brock Lesnar won the match in short fashion, unfortunately. The kids were crying. In fact, there was a young girl who was almost crying until she realized she was on camera, and she changed her reaction quicker than the adulterous couple at the Coldplay concert. Of course, lots of kids were sad. We had a kid entrance with John Cena, but that didn't go so well. Hopefully, we'll get a Brock Lesnar versus Cena rematch in which John Cena wins. We have attacked, not to mention Brock Lesnar is going rampant on everyone. F5 and referees, 24 hours prior to F5 and a referee, he beat up Corey Graves. Of course, going forward, we have the Usos taking on PB&J, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. However the helicopter he does that thing where he has himself looking unhinged. Of course, the match was won by the PB&J security, but I want to point out something interesting that happened in this match because Jey Uso went for the running rear end onto, I believe, Braun Breaker. And then he paid homage to his new girlfriend, Jada Parker. For those of you who have heard the rumors, apparently Jey Uso confirmed with his tribute last night that Jada Parker and Jey Uso are indeed a couple. I don't see anything wrong with that, but in any event, they are a couple. I also saw a community post that helped confirm the rumors as Jada Parker was wearing a Yeet t-shirt. That confirms it. They are a couple. Oh, not to mention in my former hometown of Atlanta at Hartsfield International Airport, you can see those two walking hand in hand together. So Jada Parker and Jay are a thing. This is the J and J couple I'm really a fan of. Now, going forward, we had, after those two faced off, next we have the Women's World Championship, the vacated Women's World Championship because Naomi is pregnant. Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakir. This is one of my favorite matches of last night. Those two, we got a tease when they faced off in a match that ended in a no contest because of interference in Las Vegas Raw after WrestleMania earlier this year. But this year we got a conclusion with Io Sky, Stephanie Vakir, two major fan favorites going at it for the vacated Women's World title. And the match was awesome, in my personal opinion. And the match ended. First of all, let me point out something that was funny. Obviously, the men of culture were very happy to see Stephanie Vakir do the devil's kiss. But what made me crack up was when Wade Barrett, first of all, if Booker T was there, he'd be having an erection. But if what happened last night was so hilarious, Wade Barrett said, "Don't we all want the devil's kiss?" Michael Cole was like, "What?" As many of us are, because it had to be explained that they want the devil's kiss from Stephanie Vakir, whose character is known as the Dark Angel and is very popular amongst wrestling fans, both male and female. However, when Wade Barrett said we all want the devil's kiss, without context, Wade got looked at funny by Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. By the way, it is so great to hear Pat McAfee's voice. But of course, we are in Indianapolis, home of Pat McAfee and the late great Michael Jackson. It was worth a try. Of course, I didn't know Sharmell was also from, Booker T's wife Sharmell is also from Indiana. I did not know that. But moving forward, that was hilarious, their reaction. But that corkscrew moonsault that Stephanie Vakir did for the win was a thing of beauty. It was amazing and it was very athletic. It was awesome. That was my favorite match of the night. My other favorite match of the night was the mixed tag team match involving Seth Rollins and his wife versus CM Punk and his wife. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. AJ Lee's first match in over a decade. It did not disappoint at all. And of course, Becky Lynch still kept taunting CM Punk, knowing that CM Punk was trying to be a good person and not put his hands on that Jezebel. But of course, he eventually put Becky Lynch in a sharpshooter, only reversing the fact that Becky Lynch put it on him first. So, the match in itself was awesome. I enjoyed it. Thankfully, CM Punk and AJ Lee won this match, with AJ Lee making Becky Lynch tap out. And hopefully we can see AJ Lee win the Women's Intercontinental Championship someday. Who knows? It was great to see. Of course, I will say, my favorite couple in WWE, my favorite couples are CM Punk and AJ Lee, Undertaker and Michelle McCool. Of course, we have, who else am I? Jey Uso and Jada Parker are now a part of my favorite couples. Now, those two are awesome. Moving forward, I want to bring up some small news. We got to see one of my all-time favorites, The Undertaker, make an appearance to announce that Stephanie McMahon will be inducted into next year's Main Event Hall of Fame class of 2026 before WrestleMania goes to Las Vegas again. Now, the next year, WWE is going to Saudi Arabia. Now, a lot of people are mad about that for whatever reason, but you guys got to tell me, why do you think this is such a bad idea? Because a lot of people are not happy about them going overseas. If it was London, we'd be pleased. But for some reason, everyone's angry about them going to Saudi Arabia in 2027. So let me know your thoughts on that. Of course, we got to talk about the main event of Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. The match was okay, but the Women's World Championship match and the mixed tag team match between CM Punk and AJ Lee winning against Seth and Becky were my favorites. But this match was a bit okay to me, where we had Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre hurt his leg trying to go for that Claymore kick through the announce table, which sidelined Cody Rhodes for a couple of weeks. But the ref wouldn't allow it, which helped Cody Rhodes. Eventually, Cody Rhodes would win the match and retain the WWE Championship. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about last night's episode of WrestlePalooza, which was inspired by ECW. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what you think about that. Until next time, I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and that's all the time I have for you today. And I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. Peace out.